That is one of
Okay, so let me say a good afternoon to everyone joining from wherever you are. And it's a pleasure to formally welcome all of you to this important capacity building event that we have teamed AI customization and prompt engineering for teaching and learning. I must say that this is exciting because where we are going now, as far as learners and students are concerned, we need to build our capacity in order to be part of the changes that are happening within the educational sector. So it's important to note that this program is organized under the collaborative activities of the TeProD project. So TeProD is teaching and professional development as far as learners are concerned. So this project is an Erasmus Plus European Union funded initiative. And we were looking at twin transition. So the integration of digital and green transformation in teaching, learning, and professional development. So for us within Sub-Saharan Africa, our focus is to build the competency of our teachers and students. So digital competency is one of the key issues that this project seeks to discuss, and as well as not just using or be interested in the digital transformation, but what about green transformation? So digital competencies and green competencies merged together is what the project is funding, and that's why we call it the twin transition. So it's important that today's conversation will be more of the part of the digital competency agenda or capacity that we want to build among Sub-Saharan African teachers and students as well. And the TeProD project is an international partnership that is being partnered among some partner institutions. And we have our partners from Finland, we have partners from Slovakia, we have partners from Namibia, and of course, Ghana. And Ghana, we have two universities that are part of the partnership, University of Ghana and University of Education, Winneba. All these partners are united together in a way to commit to sharing the innovative, inclusive, and future readiness of education. So as the host institution, which happens to be University of Ghana, we are very much honored to convene this first TeProD hands-on training session, which in a way we are seeking to translate how emerging AI capabilities can be put together into a more practical, pedagogical, and professional application to help our teachers or trainers or stakeholders that have joined this afternoon's session. To be more precise, I want to say that today's session is more designed to equip teachers, students, administrators, and other industry practitioners that have joined us with more or less, let's say, more of actionable skills in how do we use AI to customize or craft effective prompts in order to enhance our teaching, learning, and decision making. So we'll be focusing more on what do we do if I have any of the AI tools as a teacher or a stakeholder or an administrator. The whole point is to make us work faster and smarter. So these emerging tools are there to support, not to take over what we do, but to support. And because it is more of supporting what we do, we need to find out the appropriate prompts, or let's say keywords, that we can use to generate ideas and support our conversation in teaching and learning. So today's session, beyond the technical skills, this engagement is to more or less give us a broader idea about what TeProD vision is to strengthening digital competencies, while at the same time fostering responsible, human-centered, and sustainable use of technology in education. So I'm excited to host you. My name is Abeku Sam Edu. I'm a co-PI for the TeProD project, and I'm part of University of Ghana's team. And I have my team members too here along the line. I will be introducing them, but we are happy to have project administrator Victoria Difa Oklu joining us. Also, Professor Owusu Achampon joining us. I have here again Professor Awuni, who is also joining us from wherever he finds himself, as far as Dr. Atara as part of the project team members. And again, our partners from Finland are joining us, our partners from Slovakia are joining us, as far as Namibia, our partners there are also joining us for this afternoon session. So again, I'm excited, and let me warmly welcome all of you from wherever you are globally. And I'm looking forward for a very highly interactive session, very insightful session, and an impactful learning experience this afternoon. Without much ado, I want to welcome our lead presenter, a friend and also a partner who is part of the TeProD project, all the way from Finland. And with his partner as well, we want to give them the opportunity to share with us what are some of these prompts that we can use as far as supporting our teaching and learning processes. So I have here, firstly, Dr. Professor Awuni, I'll bring you in.
Yeah, no, just a minute. Is it possible you can activate the recording since you are the host now? Or it's being recorded? Okay,
Yes, it's being recorded.
Thank you.
Everything is being recorded now. Thank you very much for the reminder. So if you can hear me again, it's just to welcome you, and as I indicated, looking forward for a very highly interactive and insightful program. Professor Awuni, please, do you have a comment, a word before we invite our
Oh no, it's fine. I think they can just go straight away and start with the presentation. I think it's fine. You've said everything.
That's fine. So when we are done, I want everyone to have in mind that this is a TeProD project, and it is highly sponsored by Erasmus Plus European Union funded project on the theme Twin Transition, Building Digital Competencies and Green Competencies. So I have here Dr. Dimitri, as I indicated, is part of the TeProD project. Dr. Dimitri is a senior researcher from Hagahelia University of Applied Science in Finland. And his research focus is more into knowledge engineering and management, AI adoption, business analysis, and enterprise architecture. He also focused on business and education applications of generative AI. And as you can see on my screen, his current projects, which I'm also following, is looking at generative AI, enhanced knowledge management and business, improving teachers and student professional development with Twin Transition, which we happen to be partners, and also upscaling immigrant for business planning and entrepreneurship.
What's up?
Alongside
Yes,
Dimitri,
sir.
alongside we have Axeli also being part of Dimitri's team for this afternoon to help us appreciate some of these AI engineering prompt in practical, pedagogical, and professional application. So I will open the floor now. I'll give the opportunity to Dr. Dimitri to lead us along the line. Our program is structured in a manner that after the presentation, we'll have opportunity to interact along the line. There will be some interaction also by the presenter whilst he is presenting. So please note, if you don't have a question or you don't have any submission, we kindly ask you to mute yourself. And along the line, if you have any question when we open for interaction, we ask that you show by hands. Then we will call you to have a very noise-free conversation. And also participant for this afternoon. So Dr. Dimitri, thank you for joining us. Please, you have the floor to.
Thank you, Dr. Rebecca, for a nice presentation, very good overview of the project and overall context of our today's meeting. So let me start sharing the slides. Hope you will see them. Oh. Do you see my slides? Do you see me? Do you hear me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, great. So, I'm also very glad to be part of TeProD project, and I like overall idea of enhancing capacity of universities in Africa with respect to digitalization, to in transition, and AI, and all these topics. And actually, there is an urgent need for increasing capacity of universities, not only in Africa, actually, but also in other regions. And we also see the same urgent need here in Finland for upskilling in the area of AI application, for example. So that's why we are kind of in a global trend of increasing the competences in this area. And I see one hand raised. Nancy, do you want to ask something? No. Okay. So the topic of our today's presentation is about AI customization and prompt engineering for teaching and learning. And we will start from prompt engineering, and it seems to be one of the key techniques and technologies for application of AI. And then we will talk about this AI customization. So we will talk about the following things during today's workshop. So we will start from AI fundamentals and we will give you very short intro into overall idea of how popular AI tools works, just to understand what to expect from them and so on. Then we will talk about AI ecosystems and tools, and then we will focus on prompt engineering, and so we will spend quite a lot of time on this. Also, context engineering, it is a kind of evolution of the idea of prompt engineering, and so quite trendy word nowadays. And then we will talk about customized AI tools and how to do this customization. And thank you to Dr. Rebecca, who already introduced both me and Axel. So actually you see the same information. So I'm senior researcher at Haga Helia University of Applied Science, and in general I have background both in business administration and in computer science. So my basic education is in industrial engineering, and PhD was in computer science. And during my career, I combined work in academia and in industry. Working as a associate. Previously, I worked as an associate professor in St. Petersburg University, and I did research and teaching there. And at the same time, I worked in consulting company, mainly at the intersection of business and IT, in the digitalization of companies, and so on. And here you see my current projects in Haga Helia. So quite many projects at the moment, but I like these projects. They are very interesting, and so then actually maybe just I would like to give him an option to say a couple of words about himself. And actually during today's workshop we plan to do it in such a way that I will explain some topics and provide slides, but then I will suggest Axel to share his experience on this topic because he's doing a lot of practical work on all these things and has a great amount of practical experience. So, Axel.
Yes. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Axel Leskinen, an AI developer at Haga Helia University of Applied Sciences, and I also graduated a couple of years ago at the Haga Helia. And in my current job, I build the LLM-powered web applications, or mostly web application, and some other AI solution. And I work with companies on proof of concept and MVPs, minimal viable products. And I like daily use AI assistant coding and AI agent approach to code those solutions and POC. And before joining Haga Helia, I work in an ERP project where my job was to turn complex labor agreements in the structured digital format and basically making messy real-world rules usable for software. And I think the same idea applies to AI today. If you want to reliable like a result, you need like structure the input the context window and the workflow. And this is also on one of the main ideas of today's workshop, showing you how you can do this in practice. And I think Dimitri will handle, like he mentioned, mostly of the speaking, and I will comment now and then and share my tips and ideas and so on. So yeah, nice to be in here and see so many of you joined here also.
Thank you, Axel. So let's and so to artificial intelligence. And important to comment here is that artificial intelligence actually is a very mature and old discipline. So this discipline appeared not only a couple of years ago, but in the end of 50s of the previous century. And so now, as you understand, it is approximately 60 or maybe even 70 years of research and practical work in the area of AI. And there were different approaches to artificial intelligence. So some work focused on modeling how people reason and make decisions, and another big area of work was focused more on the imitation of neural works. And so that's why from the very beginning there were kind of two big streams of research and practice in the area of artificial intelligence. Both areas contributed a lot, and now it is this area related to neural networks is probably the most prominent, and actually all these tools that you know now, such as ChatGPT and so on, they represent this stream of neural networks research and practice. And here you see that the idea behind these neural networks, for example, it is that computer systems are designed to imitate the neurons in the brain. And then you see that machine learning, for example, it is kind of technology which is based on the ideas of neural networks. Use sample data to train computer programs to recognize patterns based on algorithms. Then natural language processing gives an ability to understand speech and understand documents and so on. Then, of course, you all know about robotics and so on. So it is a kind of big and wide spectrum of different technologies under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. But we will focus more on the generative AI, and it is subset of artificial intelligence. And this slide explains that it is AI technique that learn from data about existing artifacts and use these to generate new artifacts. So probably you heard about this concept of training large language maybe about models. Then more specific kind, or maybe more narrow area within generative AI is foundation models. So large machine learning models that are trained on broad set of unlabeled data and are fine-tuned to wide range of applications. Then the idea of large language models came into play, and this is AI that is trained on vast amount of text to interpret and generate human-like textual output. And then ChatGPT, it is an OpenAI service that incorporates a conversational chatbot with large language model to create content. So this slide demonstrates overall idea what is generative AI, what is LLM, large language models, and here you see an example of a popular product, ChatGPT, which implements this. So just again for broad understanding that ChatGPT is a product, LLM it is a technology, then ChatGPT integrated this technology and became very popular at the moment. So general idea about LLMs and generative AI on how does it work. So it's important to understand that LLM is basically a giant word predictor. So overall logic of this tool is that it takes this context is an input. So here you see 4 words. The customer is always. So sequence of 4 words. Then these 4 words are given to neural network, and it is a very complicated mechanism that predicts next word. And here you see that there can be different words after always. Right, wrong, clever, and so on. But you see also a probability of each word. And so here you see that the probability of right is much higher than probability of other words. And so in such case system will decide, okay, it seems that right it is the most suitable word in order to add to these 4 words, and so then it will bring the word right to this sequence of words, and then there will be a phrase the customer is always right, and then if the system will generate new words, then it will have a look at the previous words and use it for generating new ones. So each new word in this system's output is generated based on the same logic with probabilities, predictions, and so on. And I hope that this idea will help you to understand what to expect from the model and what not to expect. So actually it's not about any kind of logical reasoning behind your answers and so your questions and answers, but rather it is statistics and knowledge of related to huge amount of texts. And so machine read great amount of different texts, books, articles, and other content, and is able to predict this. But understanding is not the feature of this model, so you shouldn't expect that it understand what is behind. And also from practical point of view, so you may heard about different things related to kind of poisoning of these large language models and how you can make them worse and produce bad outputs. So if the model is trained on the high quality content with kind of correct things, then it will provide and generate correct answers with high probability. But if you will add junk content for training, then the probability of incorrect answers will become higher. So instead of, for example, the word right, the probability of the word wrong can become much higher. And so at some moment, if you will give a lot of incorrect training data to the model, you may receive the result that the word wrong will become even more probable, and so it can be added to the system. So it's about it is just one example on how these models can be kind of poisoned, and the quality of these models can decrease. So maybe, by the way, actually, if you have any comments and examples on how this training and incorrect training data can make the output of models worse, you can also share it.
Yeah, I think like 2 years ago, this so-called fine tuning was big thing, and everyone was fine tuning their own like LLM. So basically, you took some large language model, for example, GPT-4o, and you fed your own files or some training files and tried to fine tune the model that is better for your use case. But many times it tends to just get wrong. It start to hallucinate the answers, and it didn't work like everyone thought it would go. So that's why nobody in nowadays basically don't do this fine tuning anymore. So this is a hard the difficult topic, and it's difficult to train LLM model like a correct way.
Yeah, thanks. So let's proceed. So I included this video in the slides, so I don't think that we should watch it now, because I'm not sure how well will it work in this remote context. But I will share the slides after the workshop, and you will be able to have a look at these slides. And actually, they explained how AI assistant work in more detail, and again, hope you will better understand the systems and have better expectations with respect to AI's capabilities. Okay, so then popular word that you heard, I suppose, is ChatGPT. So the first chatbot with an LLM. And ChatGPT, it is a conversational user interface developed by OpenAI. It is a company and powered by an AI model called large language model. And it generates human-like text based on the context. And LLM, it is, as we already discussed, is a specialized type of artificial neural network trained in natural language processing. And here you see that GPT, it is kind of abbreviation for uh, G, it is generate, pre-trained, it is 4P, and T, it is transformer. So maybe if we will explain word by word, transformer, it is architecture that helps to understand long-term context and connection among words, trained on large corpus of data, including books, articles, encyclopedias, and so on, and generate, so ability to generate human-like text and also other modalities. And modalities means images and so on. And on one hand, ChatGPT became very.
You say good afternoon. Okay.
Any question?
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Is someone asking a question?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, Prof, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just like to know that the focus of the presentation, is it an awareness creation or a demonstration of how the tools are to be applied and the potential benefit, or maybe it's too early to ask that question?
No, it's fine. I can respond.
Yeah.
So, this is, like I said, a workshop, and it has to do with AI, how AI can be used to help in terms of teaching and learning. So there's a lab session that you'll be taught how to use some of these AI tools like ChatGPT and Copilot. So if you noticed, we sent an email for you to get an account for that. So that level will get there. But as it is now, he's explaining, he's giving more or less the
context background.
Explaining what it is. For instance, right now, we are talking about one of the critical engine of this AI called GPT. That's where the ChatGPT came from. So the GPT, is the engine which is a transformer pre-trained and then generates. So the transformer is the architecture that will help the system to be able to pick, corpus, or let's say text, and put them together and give it to us as a response. And then you have the pre-trained. The pre-trained means that it's just a large data set, big data set that the transformer goes there, look through it, get whatever prompt that you give there to give the response. So at this stage, we are only explaining to you the evolution and the rationale, the context around this AI, but there will be a stage where it will be practical lab session that he will take you through how you can use it and write prompts.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you.
Yeah. And don't be afraid, so we will really spend enough time on prompting. So it is just to set the context for a more practical part. Okay, so this slide also demonstrates that the first GPT was created in 2018, and a breakthrough model which became kind of viral and very popular became open in 2022. So then it is again one more slide about overall context for AI application. So now we are focusing on your skills on how to use AI, but of course it's not the only ingredient of successful AI application, but it's also important to have the right use case for AI, to have needed data, access to technologies, again, so whether certain models and certain tools are available in, for example, certain organization, in certain country, and so on. Then organization, it is about organization of processes and roles in the company and so on. So then ecosystem of AI ecosystem and tools. So this slide gives an overview of the kind of market for Gen AI chatbots. Gen AI, it is the same as generative AI. And as you see here, the market share of ChatGPT is still high, but there are also other popular chatbots or AI assistants, such as Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, and some other tools. And by the way, that's why I recommended you to have accounts for different tools, not only for ChatGPT, but also for Copilot and Gemini, because you can also compare the results from different tools. This slide provides also an overview of different large language models that are used in the market. And so here you see model names, and also you see that there are some models with different versions. For example, in GPT, you see 4.0, 4, 3.5, and so on. And also, if you have a look at this chart now, you will also see certain update and changes in this model. So they appear all the time, and popularity of these models also change, and the choice of large language models often depends on the task at hand. So some models are better for text generation, some models are better for writing code or analyzing data. Some models are better for image processing or for processing voice recording, for example. So it's useful to monitor this market and to know about suitable models for you. And by the way, this slide is taken from, maybe I will jump to this slide quickly. So it is a tool named Poe, So you may also consider using it in your life, and it gives you an option to use different models. So you may install one tool and then you receive a kind of marketplace or library of different models. So especially if you have different tasks and you understand that maybe for some task you want one model and for some task you want other model, so you can switch between them. And Poya gives this possibility. And maybe before we will move forward, I would like to ask Axel again uh, about these different
Only your hand is up. Is there any? Dimitri, you can continue, please.
Yeah, yeah. Axel, are you here?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I would like to ask one more question to you. Maybe you can also comment here. So as I mentioned that there is a multitude of different models, and can you share your insights and experience or related to the selection of these models and kind of trends in these models? So I know that you know a lot about it.
Yes, yes, and their models are basically there's a so for example this new GPT model that ChatGPT have this GPT 5.2. It's good basic model and go just for it. And in couple of next months there will be a new OpenAI like flagship model. And Google Gemini models are good, and these Claude models they are also pretty good and they are best for the coding. So I'm using mostly of these Claude models. But keep in mind, the models works a little bit differently. If you give same input, same prompt to the Gemini model and to the ChatGPT, they give slightly different like the output back. So you can play with them and find out what is looks best for you, and the models are different also. So for example, because I'm from Finland and I use a lot of like Finnish when I'm prompting and brainstorming with models, so the text might slightly be different in some models that I don't like, so I tend to use ChatGPT for the brainstorming and Claude for the coding, and there's plenty of new models. New models are coming now and then, and just play with them and test that work. But which one works for you?
Mhm.
All right. So Dimitri, to make it open, in a way that people here would follow the discussion. You earlier, showed us a slide with a name POE, POE. So if you can throw more light, so the POE is it a platform that hosts a lot of maybe LLMs or maybe these kind of tools? Yes. So you have all the tools there, right? Okay, where you can, whichever that you want to explore, GPT is here and other tools are there. Is Gemini there as well?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I just wanted to be clear, maybe, so POI is a platform that allows you to, access various, AI tools. All right, so you can go on, please.
Thanks. Then about access to different tools and the necessity to pay for this. So normally overall logic is that the majority of players in the area of generative AI, they provide free access, but with limited capabilities and kind of features. And it is often enough for many tasks and for kind of simple questions and so on. But the more you use AI and the more complicated tasks you start solving with these tools, the more you feel the need to move to paid versions. And here you see an example for ChatGPT and its logic on how they move from free version to plus version and to team version and so on. Okay. I just quickly see the chat. Yeah. So yeah, it is overall idea for ChatGPT, and actually it is almost the same with other models, and we will notice the need for these subscriptions even during today's workshop. So when we will work with prompting, it's completely okay to use free versions, but when we will move to the issue of customizing tools and especially to the issue of creating your own custom GPTs, for example, you will encounter that this task will require paid subscription. But so which AI chatbot better? So actually, Axel already shared his thoughts, and I agree that it's better for you to try several tools and to understand what tool is more suitable for your needs, and then decide what to prefer. And also, by the way, the choice is related to the overall ecosystem that you use. So, for example, if you mainly work within Microsoft ecosystem, so for example, many universities have subscriptions for Microsoft tools such as Teams, Outlook, and so on, then maybe Copilot will be a more convenient option for you. If you are in a startup and or in a small company and maybe all your team is working with Google ecosystem, and so with Google Docs, with Gmail and Google Drive and so on, then in such case you may consider working with Google Gemini because of strong integration between these tools within one ecosystem. And for example, sometimes, so I primarily use ChatGPT for the majority of tasks. But sometimes, for example, I switch to Microsoft Copilot because it is integrated with our within our Microsoft subscription. And if I'd like to send, for example, some documents related to my work and I wouldn't like to share them with with public, so I would prefer to use Microsoft Copilot because the license of Microsoft Copilot is kind of aligned with other licenses of Microsoft software, and so at least they state that they try not to, they will not share your data outside, and so on. Okay. So these are some additional kind of thoughts about the use of ChatGPT, but maybe since we want to focus more on prompting and custom tools, let's move forward. Just a couple of words about some other useful tools that can be relevant for you. This tool is named Notebook LM, and it allows you to create AI-powered research and writing assistant that works best with the sources you upload. So the idea is that you can upload some documents, and then you can ask questions related to these documents. You can convert these documents into kind of uh, podcasts and audio files. For example, if you'd like to listen to these documents while running or walking around and so on. So it is, and I would say that it is quite a popular tool, and for example, we try to use it for writing proposals for research projects, and it is very useful for this. So, for example, if you need to take into account what are the objectives of the call, and to understand all the details of the specific call, and call for proposals, I mean. And sometimes these call for proposals are quite long, and they may have references to some high-level documents, to some kind of regional strategies, such as EU strategy, or maybe in your case, African strategy, or maybe Ghana strategy, and so on. So in this case, it is good to understand the requirements of the call very well, understand what is written in different strategic and policy documents within your region. And so Notebook LM, for example, is a very nice option to you to get answers to all these questions related to such documents. And then another...
Just a quick one,
Yeah.
yeah, just before we move on, I wanted to ask a question on the models and their versions. How do I know which version of ChatGPT, for instance, I'm using? Or is it taken for granted that the latest is always what is there when you log in?
I can maybe answer to this question. You can see in top left corner in ChatGPT interface this web UI. It most likely say ChatGPT 5.2. So they are always using the newest flagship model in the ChatGPT. But of course, if you are using this free ChatGPT, after some time, if you're prompting a lot, it will switch to this the GPT mini model after some amount of messages. If you just ask a lot of questions, and it will it's like a rate limit, and it will reset after a couple of hours or something. But they are using their newest flagship model all the time in ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I open this. Yeah. AI select the most suitable model for the task. But it is possible to select, as you see, instant or thinking, for example.
Yes, or actually this is same model, but this only like affect how long the models are like thinking. For example, if you paste multiple different PDF files and you will see the thinking process, so it could take much longer to like the model will do the thinking and it will open the file and find the certain parts of that PDF. And if you have this paid subscription, you can change this thinking. Like, is it automatically? Is it thinking set to? You can if you click this thinking in here, and you can see in now in the chat there's this thinking, and if you click it again, that blue section, this one, and you can see it now in standard thinking mode. So if you have the like complex task and multiple different files that require like a lot of thinking, or you think that model needs a lot of thinking, you can do it by clicking the extended thinking. But most of this auto is good.
Mm-hmm. So let's proceed with slides. And we are finalizing this discussion about different tools and ecosystems. And here you see an example of task-specific tool. So it is for PPT creation and presentation generation. So it helps creating slides, presentations, and so on. So it is just one example, and you see that actually helped me to create an example of presentation for today's workshop using this tool. So here you see a design that was suggested by this tool. So you may encounter similar task-specific solutions. I mean, similar that they are optimized for specific tasks. And so, for example, if you do a lot of coding and you may prefer to use Claude Code as a specialized platform product which is optimized for coding tasks. Then some models are more suitable for example, and some tools are more suitable for analytics and so on. So again, maybe actually, can you also share some experience with different kind of task specific tools?
Yes, I think for at least that I use in like every task nowadays is this Claude Code. So it's code in agent. So agent is like agent works same way. It's like a loop that continues to work. You give a certain like plan, and it will loop it, and like a LLM will work it till it completes. So I think this Claude Code is like most popular, and everyone is nowadays using it.
Yeah, and yeah. So I think we can proceed further. So the next topic is prompt engineering. So I'm thinking that maybe we should have a 5-minute break or 10 minutes break. So how is it better? Professor Abeku, what do you think? 5, 10 minutes or Emmanuel?
Abeku, can you hear? Okay, so I don't know. I think maybe probably it's
Hello, Professor Oni.
Yes. Yeah, so he was Dimitri was saying a break or something. So if
Say that again.
Dimitri was saying that if you can pause for some, because you want to go into the prompt engineering, either you allow some questions or we go.
Okay, so that's what I want us to do before the demonstration. Maybe we can allow three. I saw earlier 3 hands were up. So I'll give the opportunity for the first session. If anyone want to see clarity or you have any submission, please let's have it. Then we can make it prompt. Okay, so I have Frederick Mensah.
Hello,
Frederick,
sir.
you can start. Then we will follow up with anybody else who. So Frederick,
Hello,
please go
Doc.
on with your question.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Frederick, go on. We can hear you.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's see. Somebody is using ChatGPT, which is maybe has let's say he has paid. It's a premium, and maybe I'm using a Manus AI, which is free. So I wanted to know if is the one the person has paid for, is it better than the free one I'm using, the free version I'm using?
I can answer maybe this one. I think it should be the same model, but after a certain amount of the messages, it's or at least it used to change the model to some cheaper one, so-called mini model. So it will change it to the GPT 5.1 mini or something like that. And then you have to wait about a couple of hours or something, and it will reset your rate limit, and then it's same model again. But in the free version, I think you cannot change the thinking. It's auto by the default, and you can do it.
Thank you very much.
So if you want better, you subscribe.
Frederick, is that clear? Because the
Yes, please,
versions, yeah, okay. Any other question? Any other? Professor Winnie, do you want, or Gladys? I see Gladys.
Dr. Beku.
Yes, please.
Please, there is this site, Tuxify. All the AIs they are since it's premium, it's premium, and there are other free sites you can use. I don't know if you can still use the premium site or you should stop using it. I don't know if you have heard the name for Tuxify.
No, your question is not clear. Can you come to it, Clara?
Quite hard to hear.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Like it's a site. It's two is TOOLIFY. It's a site, but most of the AIs there are premium. It's like
Premium.
you're supposed to pay
Uh-huh.
before you can use it. So let's
Yes.
see if I'm using them. I mean, say I'm using one, and I have a free version too. Can I stop using that one and use the free version because of maybe it's expensive or?
It's not about before Dimitri. It's not about being free. I think we've advocated that there are free version and subscription. Depending on the task you are performing, you can't always use the free version. You must have to look out for which one can give you specific tasks, because the prompt I may use in maybe Chat 1.0 and the one I'm using for 5.0, the level of responses that are coming may differ. So it's not about free or not being free. It's what are you doing? I think Dimitri made mention of that. The tasks that you are performing will warrant why I would choose DeepSeek over ChatGPT 5.0. Depends on the task that I want to be more oriented and getting answers to what I want to do. Okay, so Dimitri, if you want to add up, or Professor Woni.
Yeah. So maybe I didn't fully understood the question because it was quite hard to hear. But overall, this issue with models. So. Of course, if you have free subscription, you have overall idea that you will have less flexibility with choices. So, for example, it will be, for example, hard to select what model to use and what mod will it use and so on. Then, as Axel mentioned, free modes may result in downgrading performance once you start using it more and more, and for example, ChatGPT will decide to optimize its own costs and provide simpler answers and start being lazy and so on. And so, in such cases, again, shifting to premium and pro subscriptions will help. And we will also discuss such issue as context window, for example, and we will discuss it maybe during the second in maybe half an hour or an hour. So it also varies depending on the model and also may vary depending on the your subscription plan. So, of course, for everyday life, so if you just want to use ChatGPT as an alternative for Google and just ask questions about countries, hobbies, and stuff like that. So, it's not critical, so it's enough to use free version. And also for many simple tasks, it's also enough to use free version. But at some moment, it's become evident that need to shift. Emmanuel, did I answer your question? Did it help?
Yeah, I think you have. But let me add that you see, just like
Let's have one more question, then we'll begin with the next session. Kobe,
okay.
do you...
Okay, Dr. Abeko, I was speaking. I thought, or I cannot be heard.
I can hear you.
Okay. You, Kobe, go ahead with your this thing.
Question or submission, then we can. Yeah, Kobe, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question has to do with in terms of security. So I wanted to know what are some of the measures we can put in place so that we don't end up giving too much to whilst getting the information we need, and we also don't end up giving too little so that we don't get what we actually need. So what should be the cap between how much we can feed to ChatGPT in terms of sensitive information and how little we can also give so that we end up getting the exact thing we need without having to compromise on security. And also I wanted to ask that, so for each prompt or after each prompt, is it that our data is being saved somewhere else? And with that, how secure it is in terms of if one day the database gets some data breach or something, is it that our personal information will now be out there to a third party?
Okay, thank you very much. Dimitri, any
Or can I?
Professor Auni, yes.
So let me add something. So first of all, yeah, please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, let me say that even though artificial intelligence has come to stay, in a way, it is helping us to be more efficient in a lot of things. Students use it to learn and all that, but it comes with its own risk. as it is now, it has a lot of ethical issues and also risk associated with the use. So your first question, my advice is that, normally within the space, my advice is that within the space, if you you just upload anything on any platform, obviously the data that you upload, somehow the data is also being retained in a way to keep retraining the model so that the model can always perform better, retraining the model. So making prompt or asking AI to give you some information, you need to be very careful with regards to the kind of data that you put in. For that one, you have to be very careful, unless, of course, you work in an institution where that particular tool is acquired or a license has been issued or your company has a license to use it. For instance, certain institutions use Copilot. If you look, Dimitri even pointed out that in his university, they use Microsoft 365. Within the Microsoft tenant, there is Copilot in it. So what it means is that if you get the license to use, that means any data at all you upload is within the confines of the institution that you work. So Microsoft ensures that they protect the data that you upload into Copilot and all that. So my advice is that if it is very sensitive, especially if you work in an organization, please do not upload organizational sensitive data to any AI, platform, unless of course it's just the casual kind of, or maybe a certain data that you put in that may not come back to hurt you. Explore. Probably your institution may have, some kind of AI tool that you're using. Once they have the license to use, it means that whoever provided the license is assuring you that it's protecting your data within the confines of the organization. For that one, you can somehow use it, even use it with care, but not just any other platform. There's a number of tools out there. Because AI, we just don't put any data in it. And then your second question, sorry, I have forgotten the second question. Peter, can you remind me?
Yes, Prof. So the next question had to do with our data that is being stored.
Okay, yes. So now let me
explain. The cloud also.
Yeah, so the thing is, of course, Dimitri can also come in here. Whatever you put in, the prompt that you put in, the data that you upload and all that, that data somehow is retained to retrain the model. But it still bounces back to the fact that you have to be very careful the tool that you are using. If the tool is Copilot and your institution has actually acquired license to use, everything's within that confines. But if it is just any data anywhere, whatever you put in, like I said, the data is somehow retained to retrain the model. Unless, of course, it's not built in that sense. So in summary, all I'm trying to say is that the data is somehow retained to retrain the model, but not to, pick it as and make it available to anyone, but just for retraining the model. Okay, maybe Dimitri and Axel can also make a response to some of these questions.
All right, so Dimitri, on security and data being stored, if you have any feedback.
Yeah. So I like that the answer from Emmanuel, and just to add to a little bit to his ideas, I can share this option of configuring ChatGPT. So when you use these publicly available assistants, you can also have a look at different settings and configurations. And for example, there is an option to set these data controls and to define whether your data can be or cannot be used for improving the model. And so, for example, here you may select that the model, it is not allowed to use your content to be used to train models. And so it is one example on how you can deal with this configuration. So here it is. I just opened it here. So, for example, I went here, opened settings, and so then you can select what is needed in your case. So just an example. And yes, I as I already mentioned that sometimes your organization may provide certain as AI assistant for you, such as, for example, Microsoft Copilot, which will be kind of more safer than using kind of open chat GPT. But I also agree with Manuel that if it is a completely secret commercial information, then it's you should not put it in these models, and that's why there is quite big market of creating kind of models that work in based on company's own infrastructure. And in such case, for example, if it is a kind of central bank and so on, so it's possible to establish its own infrastructure for such models and answering questions.
Yeah, can I add one comment in here?
Yeah.
So, for especially if you are using free-to-use subscription, many times you cannot even toggle this use my data for training off, because this is the reason they let you to try this model, so they can train their own LLMs later. And for especially if in this ChatGPT and Gemini case, they promise that they don't use the data for the training, but they are storing the data temporary in some cases in the databases that are located in the USA, and in the for example in the Finland it's like a no thing, so every data should be always inside this EU region. So so in this case, for example, what we do in the Haga Helia, we have our own Azure environment that we are running this large language model locally. So in that case, it's secure. But many times, if you have some files that contain some sensitive data, you can just delete all the delete that all the sensitive data, make it less like a fake PDF, or generate so-called mock data based on that file. So then you can send it to the ChatGPT. So just remove the names and do some figure out some fake names and put it from there, and then you can maybe use it. Of course, remove all the logos and something company information from there.
Yeah.
Dr. Abeku, now can you advise if you can go for break and then return? Dr. Abeku?
Yes, Dr. Professor Winnie, yes. We can take one more question.
Okay.
Just one more question, then we can begin with it. And I want us to be brief here. So, Eliza Quason, please can you be brief with your question? Then we want to begin the second section. Yeah, Eliza.
Sure, thanks. I wanted to find out if the temporary mode on ChatGPT will also protect your data.
Okay. Dimitri, I hope you heard that.
I mean, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear, but it seems that I also see this question in the chat. Is it the same one?
Yes, it's the same question.
That's the that's it. That's the temporary mode on ChatGPT protects your data. That's the same question.
Maybe so. In general, I think that if you upload some data to ChatGPT, I wouldn't interpret any mode as a completely safe mode as for me. So maybe actually can add something to this.
Yeah, yes, I agree. It's not 100% safe, so I think it's good option, but it's not 100% of safe.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Okay, so Dimitri, we can begin with the second session on the prompts. I think that's what largely everybody seems to be.
We go for break. Break, maybe about 10 minutes break, 5 or 10.
10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes break should be fine.
Yeah. Let's have 5 minutes
Five
break.
minutes, yeah. So once we come, we begin with the second
Yes.
session. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I think we can, our 5 minutes is okay. And before Dimitri starts, let me quickly remind all of us on this afternoon session that this program is organized under the collaborative activities of the TeProD project, and it's an Erasmus plus European Union funded initiative that is focusing on twin transition. And we are strongly partnered by some international partnership that are driving this project. All the way from Finland, we have Agahelia University joining us. The Technical University of Slovakia is also joining us. Our friends from Namibia, they are also joining us. Then we in Ghana are partnered also with University of Education Winneba. So University of Ghana, University of Education Winneba are all joining us for this session. So the next session is more into the AI capabilities for prompt engineering and for pedagogical interaction mostly. So we will allow our colleagues from Finland, Dr. Dimitri and Aleski, to continue as they have to share with us what they have. Please be reminded that if you don't have a question yet, kindly mute your mute yourself because we are recording the session. And if you have a question, to gently show by hands and I can call you, then you can ask your question or any submission thereof. So Dr. Dimitri, please take over. Thank you.
Okay, so let's proceed with prompt engineering. And we can use this prompting guide suggested by Google. And so I will send this link to you. So maybe you would like to explore it while listening to me. Let's start from prompts, and actually when you ask prompt, you ask AI assistant to do something, and so here you see four main areas to consider when writing effective prompts. First thing, it is persona, or sometimes it is named as role. So who is AI? Then the second important element is task. What should it do? Then context, and then format. So context describes for whom, for what purpose, and where, when, and other stuff. Then output, it is expected format of the output. And so let's have a look at an example. So it is prompt, which includes all these four areas, and it can be used in different administrative and management contexts. So here you see this text that you can write in ChatGPT or in Copilot. And so you are a program manager in industry, and here you see this industry is in bracket, so you can put relevant industry here. Draft an executive summary email to, and then you can insert specific person based on, and here you can, based on details about relevant program documents, and so here you can provide some additional details related to these documents. And then here you see limit to bullet points. So this fragment of text is highlighted with these four colors, and as you see, this fragment of text defines the role for AI. This fragment of text defines the task. This fragment of text defines the context, and this fragment of text defines the output. So then you will receive a better result from AI. And let's have a look at an example, and maybe first let's try to analyze this demo prompt. So first of all, let's try to highlight these key, to identify key elements of prompt structure. So role. So as you see, it is here. So this fragment defines the role. Then explain the concept of supply and demand. So it is task. Then to first year business student using simple language and one Ghana market example. So to first year business student, it is definitely here, it is here. It is context, and then using simple language and one Ghana market example. So here it is more about output format. So you define how would you like to see the output. So actually in this case it is something in between context description and output, but let's interpret it as an output. So as you see, this prompt provide certain amount of details and is much better than if you will simply ask about supply and demand. So let's try to use it. So yeah. So as you see, it starts to explain this in plain language, and so then it provides example for Ghana market about tomatoes at Makola market. And so this case explains the rules of supply and demand for these tomatoes. So what happens when tomatoes are scarce? And result is that tomato prices go up, and what happens when tomatoes are everywhere and tomato price go down. So As you see, this prompt will provide quite a detailed answer and suitable for your needs. And so now let's have a small hands-on exercise. Finally, you were waiting for this. So your task will be to copy this prompt. So I will drop it in the chat. And your task will be to change only one thing: subject, student level, example contexts. And if you like, you can, and then you can pass the results in the chat, and we can discuss one or two prompts. So I will drop it here. Okay, so coming back to this task, as I suggested, please change only one thing: subject, student level, or example context. Is everything clear? Do you hear me? Did you receive the prompt in the chat? Everything works fine?
Yes, I can say so for myself.
Okay, yeah. And try to use it also in your AI assistant. So insert in your ChatGPT or in your Copilot or in your Gemini. So I hope you already have access to either to all of these tools or to one of these tools.
Vic, someone is saying that the Google form is inaccessible. Can you check? Vic, are you there?
Yes, I've asked Vic to reshare the Google form.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that you managed to try. So can can someone, or maybe would like someone to share thoughts on what were the results and what do you like in the final results and so. Okay.
So is anyone sacrificing to share what he has? I think that's what Dimitri is asking, right?
Yeah. So it was simple example. So maybe some thoughts and impressions from customizing this, or we can proceed to more complicated things.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move forward. Then prompting tips. So we will have a look at this structure again, but let's think about these prompting tips also. So the first one is about using natural language. So write as if you are speaking to another person, express complete thoughts in full sentences, and then be specific and iterate. Tell the AI assistant what you need it to do. Summarize, write, change the tone, create, and so on. Provide as much context as possible. So, uh, again, being more specific means that try to formulate task precisely. So, for example, as you see, the word summarize, it will do this summarization task. If you will select another word, it will do different things. So, it's important to select the right words. Then be concise and avoid complexity. State your request in brief but specific language. Avoid jargon. Make it conversational. Fine tune your prompts if the results don't meet your expectation or if you believe there is room for improvement. Use follow up prompts and an iterative process of review and refinement to yield better results. Yeah, so it's about usefulness of iterations maybe you already noticed using ChatGPT that you may receive the answer from system, then you see that it is maybe too generic and you want to get more details, and then you may ask a follow-up question to AI to explain something in more details. And so it is a normal process of having several iterations, trying to refine the prompt and asking what is needed. Then next thing is to use your documents. So personalize AI assistant's output with information from your own files. Then make the AI assistant your prompt editor. And it is also very important and useful thing. So you can use AI for improving your prompt. So for example, you can write something like that. Make this a power prompt. So improve your prompt. So you can write your original version of the prompt and ask AI to enhance it. You can also suggest AI to ask additional questions to you to get needed information to write a better prompt, because as we already know that you need to define the role, you need to define the task, context, and so on. So that's why if your original prompt does not have some information, AI assistant can get this information and then create better prompt. So do we have some questions? No. Okay. So then yeah, I will start sharing again because of these lines. So let's have a look at a couple of more examples, and specifically on the idea of iterations. And so this example is taken from this Google's guide, and so let's have a look at the content in this guide. So it is page number 7. So you may start from this prompt. So it is examples of prompts for administrative support person. So for example, your use case is to create plan agenda. Your task is to plan agenda for the meeting. So, for example, you are planning a 3-day off-site meeting to build an agenda. You brainstorm with Gemini. And so here you see the prompt. I'm an executive administrator to a team director. So it describes this persona or a role. Then here you see a description of context. Our newly formed team now consists of content marketers, digital marketers, product marketers, and we are gathering for the first time at 3-day offsite in Washington, D.C. Then here you see task, plan activities for each day that include team bonding activities, and time for deeper strategic work. And then you see this final fragment which defines the format, create a sample agenda for me. So this is a good prompt which has all these 4 elements, and then you may receive the result from Gemini. So it is an example of results. So Gemini provided this agenda with goal and schedule for the day. Okay, so it is a good starting point, but then you need to generate specific ideas for team bonding activities. And then you type suggest 3 different icebreaker activities. So you see this red color, so it means that it's about task. And then description of the context that encourage people to learn about their teammates, preferred working style, strengths and goals, make sure the icebreaker ideas are engaging and can be completed by a group of 25 people in 30 minutes or less. So it helps to select suitable activities, and so here you see the result from AI with these detailed activities. Then you are happy with the agenda, and now you want to reformat Gemini's response into a table. And then you write organize this agenda in a table and include one of your suggested icebreakers for each day. And then you will receive this agenda as a table with activities for day one, with here you see activities, time, notes, and also this icebreaker activity. And then you can so this is the result of this prompt. So it is one example on how you iterate with this prompting and keep in mind these four elements of good prompt. Any questions? I have one more example of similar type. And then we will switch to teaching and learning domain. Okay, so another example is for drafting customer communications. So pages 15, 16. Again, let's jump to the document. So you're a customer service representative and you're responsible for responding directly to customer inquiries and concerns. You just received an email from a customer who received damaged goods. You open a new Google Doc and click on Help me write to prompt Gemini in Docs and type the following. So, as you see, they are promoting their associated services such as Google Docs and so on. And at the beginning, I mentioned that if you prefer any specific ecosystem of Office tools, such as Microsoft's ecosystem or Google's ecosystem, then you can consider using specific assistant, since it can be integrated with this data and with all these tools. So, and then let's have a look at this example. So, task first of all, this prompt starts from the task. Help me craft an empathic email response. I am a customer service representative and I need to create a response to customer complaint. So again, you see that you are writing in a plain language, in a kind of conversational way, but keep in mind that you need to mention all these. And by the way, not always all the elements. So it's not obligatory that your prompt will include all four structural elements. Sometimes it's enough to provide task and short context, for example, or task and short format. But in many cases, it is better to be more precise. So here you see a description of the context. The customer ordered a pair of headphones that arrived damaged. They are already contacted us via email and provided pictures of the damage. I've offered a replacement, but they are requesting an expedited shipping option that isn't typically included in their order. Include a paragraph that acknowledges their frustration and 3 bullet points with potential resolution. So here is the prompt. Then here you see the output from assistant. Dear customer, I was deeply sorry, and stuff like that. Then you like the email that Gemini in Docs created, and so on. Then you want to brainstorm ways to resolve the issue without offering expedited shipping. And so you can write additional prompt. Suggest 10 alternative options in place of expedited shipping to resolve the customer's frustration about receiving the damaged package. And then you receive the following answer from the system. So then you can insert them into the draft. So it is on how you again use iterations for creating good prompts, and also use this structure. Maybe before we will move to teaching context, I'd like to ask Axel again to share his thoughts about prompting. Maybe you have your own tips, and so what can you suggest here?
I think so prompt engineering and prompting is about designing like clear instructions so AI can produce like desired output. So like you showed earlier that you define like role, task, structure and some other things in single prompt. And over time, this have evolved into context engineering that we are talking more in later. And I think one thing, if you don't know what to ask first, you can simply start by brainstorming with model. And once you got the good result, you can ask model to end conversation and generate the prompt template or specification document so you can use that later or share with your colleagues that and there's some tips that I don't know, do they work anymore? But modern models already think by default. But sometimes asking model to think carefully or reason step by step can still improve the result. So you can test something like that also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also like this option of enhancing prompt, and and there are also specialized tools for prompt enhancement. So maybe do you have any experience with these prompt enhancers, or do you primarily enhance prompts with ChatGPT or stuff like
Yeah,
that?
or yes, basically in ChatGPT, or I'm using that Claude code. So basically, I'm giving a bunch of like input, so a bunch of context, and I'm giving that task. So okay, here is the task that I should do. Can you make me prompt based on these files and these requirements? And one thing I saw someone mention about they are using also this Nano Banana. And I use it a lot also for creating images for the websites and just creating images. And often I don't know how to prompt it to get the end result that I want. So I first start with, for example, ChatGPT. I just give my ideas and ask it to give me prompt so I can prompt this Google Nano Banana after with that, and it will create this image. And many times, if when you are starting like new conversation, and you see the ChatGPT, for example, the conversation is starting to drift out of the result that you wanted, just start from fresh, start new conversation, and just reset. Maybe that is one tip also.
Yeah. Thank you, Axel. So let's have a move a bit into educational domain and have a look at an examples of prompts for teaching. So previously I already gave a good description of how AI can be used for teaching and learning. So we had previous workshop with colleagues from Ghana on that topic, and so I will not go into this discussion a lot, but here are possible simple tasks: explaining difficult concepts, creating quiz questions, generating discussion questions, drafting lesson plans, giving formative feedback, creating examples and case scenarios. So these are quite good options on how can you use AI and prompting for teaching tasks. So let's go into detail of this, and prompt templates may help to deal with this. So prompt templates, these are reusable prompts that the one that you can use for repetitive tasks, and so they help you save time, be consistent, and avoid starting from scratch every time. So let's have a look at a couple of prompt templates for teaching domain. So let's take lesson planning as a use case, as a task. And here you see a prompt template that is used for this task. So I will show my work with this, and then I will, or maybe I will do it in parallel. I will, no, maybe let's first have a look at how I use it, and then you will also try it for yourself. So let's start a new chat. So I entered the prompt here, and as you see, there are some fragments of this prompt in square brackets. So, for example, I want to define any specific area, and let's imagine that we have a topic of supply and demand in the economics course. Supply and demand. Then students. Let's think that we want to create plan for a lesson plan for high school. So we delete this, and let's provide more context about the region and to make the lesson more context sensitive and relevant. So region Ghana. And then you see that according to this template, we want to include learning outcomes, 2 interactive activities, 1 assessment idea. Keep it practical and realistic. So let's run this prompt. So it starts from learning outcomes, that is, as it was specified. by the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain the demand, explain supply, and so on. Then you see lesson structure and activities, then starter, everyday price talk, 10 minutes, teacher's action, student action, key idea, and so on. So it is one example, and as you see, it was quite customized for specific context. And so let's try to find how it used context for Ghana. If Kinky becomes cheaper, will people buy more or less? I don't know the word Kenkei. Maybe it is a word quite familiar in Ghana. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes.
UK is one of the popular food that most Ghanaians would want to have.
Yeah.
So when we are meeting, I'll bring you kenke so you can taste it.
It's a dish.
Yeah, I remember what I ate, but I forgot some names. Yeah. So here you see on how AI customize this lesson plan to specific of your region. So it can be found, for example, in these questions and examples. So as you see examples, farmers bringing more tomatoes to market when prices are good, taxi drivers, and so on. So okay, so it is one example. Let's take another one. Prompt template for assessment questions. Let's take this, and then go back here. So again, let's take the same domain, supply and demand, and then level again, high school, beginners. Then what type of questions would you like? Mix of multiple choice, short answers, application-based questions, also provide correct answers. Okay. So here you see these results, 5 questions with correct answers, and questions are of different type. So some of them with selection of suitable option, then some questions implies that the answer will be in the form of text and so on. Okay, and let's take the third example, prompt template for feedback assistant. Mhm. Yeah. So here you can define task or question. For example, you provided an assignment for your students or learners, and then you received different results, and then you would like some support for writing the feedback. So here you can paste your task or question, and here you can paste student text. and then you will receive the results. So now I'd like you to experiment a little bit with these three prompts. So it will be a small hands-on exercise for you. Try these templates, choose one template, passed into ChatGPT, adapted to your subject. So the first one, it is for lesson planning. It will it is the first prompt template, then assessment questions, and the final one, feedback assistant. So choose one template, adapt to your subject, and run with ChatGPT or any other AI assistant. So I think maybe 2-3 minutes is sufficient for this. Okay, I hope you managed to try. So, do you have any questions, comments? Okay, then maybe let's continue. So the next closely related thing is that prompt templates can be organized into libraries. So we had another project where we applied generative AI to entrepreneurship and business planning, and we developed a course, a training program for immigrants on how to start a business in Finland and in Estonia. It is our neighboring country. And also we developed a set of AI tools which supports learners in this area. And so let's have a look at this prompt library. So we collected several prompt templates and organize them into categories. So, for example, these are prompts related to, there are prompts about business strategy, market analysis, and so on. So, for example, if we are interested in market analysis, we can select this. And here you see different prompt template names. So we can press here. And so you see this prompt template for defining your target audience. So imagine you are a marketing expert specializing in audience segmentation. My goal is to clearly define my target audience before starting a brand story. Addressing core customer needs, how would you help me identify my audience demographics, emotional triggers, pain points, and desires? Please ask for any additional information you may need. So it is one example. Then identifying key competitors, or for example analyzing key competitors' strengths and weaknesses. So here you are a competitive analysis expert specializing in online business landscapes. So as you see, it is about persona or a role, then background. After identifying key competitors in, and here you see square brackets, industry, I need a more detailed analysis to understand their relative strengths, weaknesses, and so on. For each of the top number, so you can define how many competitors would you like to analyze their strengths and weaknesses, provide insights into evident gaps in their offering, and so on. Please ask for clarification if you need more specific parameters for this analysis. And so, for example, these words at the end are also very useful in prompting because AI can understand that this prompt can be improved, and there is a need for some extra information, and so you can provide it in iterative way. So it is an example of prompt library. So it is publicly available. So I will send you the link in the chat so you may have a look at this prompt template library. Okay, so now we will talk about context engineering, and it is a kind of evolution of prompt engineering, and also about custom tools for education and learning. So, do we need 5 minutes break, or can we proceed?
Okay, thank you, Dimitri. Maybe we can take the 5-minute break then. It's 3 p.m. here in Ghana, so in the next we can spare our next 30 minutes to maybe try and end the session. However, if we continue, we can also continue anyway. So we are still within time. So I think we can continue.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's continue.
Yes.
So next topic is context engineering. So what is this? So we are moving beyond prompt engineering, and context engineering is about curating and managing the information the AI uses to answer you. So it's not about the question that you formulate and ask. So prompt engineering is mainly about questions, how we ask. Context engineering, what the model actually sees and uses. So let's first clarify what context means here. So context refers to entire input that the model sees in a single request. And it includes several things. So instructions for the system where you define, for example, the role of the system and so on. Then memories, which summarizes or summaries of important facts from prior interaction. So if you work a lot with an assistant, it also collects some memory. Then conversation history. So previous messages, usually the latest or current chat and so on. So maybe you notice that I often start a new chat in ChatGPT when I start asking new questions. So it helps me to clear the context. Otherwise, if I will continue asking in the same chat, AI will receive very, very long information from my previous discussion. So in some cases it is relevant. For example, I want AI to understand previous questions and answers. But if I see that it is a new discussion topics and we should not mix this with the previous one, it's much better to start a new chat to clear the context. Then also current user query, it also goes into the context. Then external knowledge. If an assistant is using retrieval augmented generation to pull an external knowledge. So now you see as kind of scary word, retrieval augmented generation. So it's about searching some information either in the internet or in your organizational knowledge base, finding some fragments of relevant information and pasting these fragments of information into AI and asking it to use these fragments of information for answering your question. By the way, maybe you noticed that when you use ChatGPT, you can, or some other assistants, you can turn on the mode search in the internet. And it seems that sometimes this mode works automatically. But if I understand that my question requires searching and Especially it is relevant when I need up-to-date information, for example, from previous week or from recent information that is not available in the memory of ChatGPT. Then this search is important. So again, coming back to this discussion about the context, you can add this knowledge into the context. Then tool responses. So if model is using tools like OpenAI function calling and tools, tools implies that, for example, you can use a tool which will collect data about weather, for example. So you are asking, for example, about clothes to put on for a specific day. And then if AI assistant have access to the tool which gathers information about the weather, it may recommend you suitable clothes for a specific day based on this tool response and tool definition. So this is what goes into the context. And what does it mean in educational context is that instead of very short prompt explain student engagement strategies, you can write a more complicated, you can provide more detailed information to AI. So you may provide brief description of course goals, you can provide short student profile, a past example of flow engagement, a note about cultural context, and so on. And this richer context can produce deeper, more useful guidance. And here you see a diagram which represents this idea of moving from prompt engineering to the concept of context engineering. So, for example, if you think about prompts, you have system prompt and user message. And then in system prompt, you may define what is the role of the system. For example, the system should play the role of teaching assistant, helping students to understand the lesson better, and so on. And maybe define specific tasks for the system. In user message, you may ask some question from student. And so it is a simple example on what can be included in the prompt. And when you think about context engineering, you start thinking about this context, and there is a concept of context window. So what is included in the kind of fragment of information that will be processed by AI assistant. So here you see possible context to give to model. So different documents, tools, memory, instructions, domain knowledge, and so on. And also message history. So since more and more questions and answers may be available for processing. So then you see this curation step. So you start thinking on what to give to the system, because the main problem that context window is limited, and we will talk a bit more about it. And so you need to select what documents to give, and maybe not the whole documents, but some fragments of documents. Then what domain knowledge to include, what message history, and here again, if you start new charts more often, then message history will be smaller. If you have just one big chart about everything, then this fragment in the context will be much bigger. So context engineering is about kind of art and craft of what should be included in this context window every time you run the AI model. And so here you see the explanation of why context engineering is crucial. Is that there is a concept of limited attention. So LLMs behave like humans. They can't recall everything if overloaded. And if you upload more information, so more tokens, it means more symbols of information, it doesn't mean that the result will be more accurate. Then another thing, it is context rot. As context length grows, retrieval precision falls. So adding 100 pages of logs may hide the single details that matter. And evolving tasks, so more and more information and so on. So then, just to understand this idea of limitation of the context window and why it is needed to think about it, you should understand that context window is the maximum number of tokens a language model can consider at once. It defines how much information, instructions, messages, documents can fit into a single interaction. Different models support different context window sizes, number of tokens, symbols, and if requests exceeds the model's context limit, one of several things will happen. So, for example, request may be rejected with a context length exceeded error. Another option is oldest messages or parts of the context may be truncated, or early system prompts or memory data may be dropped first. So it means that, for example, if you have very long discussion and added a lot of files together with your prompts, then model may start forgetting your previous discussions, and then you may expect and anticipate that the model remember the context of your discussion, but it turns out that it forgot it. So here is a kind of visual explanation for this. So if it is a request, and so what is sent to the model, to assistant. So as we mentioned that it is system instruction, memories, conversation history, prompt, and so on. And if the size of this request is smaller than context window, you are good. Everything is okay. But if the amount of information you want to send to LLM is bigger than context window, then you have some problems because it's not clear what will be dropped out from your prompt. So then just to finalize this topic of context engineering, where it helps most when you deal with multi-step lesson design. For example, when you build tools that remember student data, when you create tailored assistants, and now we will talk about these tailored custom tools and tasks that evolve over time. For simple one-off questions, prompt engineering is usually enough. And here you see some practical tips on how to deal with this context engineering and that you can summarize long info into concise facts, select only relevant data, segment info into labeled parts, and so on. And here it is context example and how to make it better. So here actually created an example for creating lesson for creating a lesson about circular economy and innovations in Africa for upper secondary students. And as you see, the prompt asks to use specific information for defining learning objective, then specific information for creating use cases, and also to create discussion questions at different Bloom's taxonomy levels. So as you see, it is a combination of prompt plus information. So in this case, it will go to the model. Okay, so so the next topic will be about customized AI tools. Do you have any questions, comments about context?
Okay, so Dimitri, thank you. The questions will come. So I don't know if we can use the next 13 minutes to do the AI customization. Then we allow for questions and answers for that interaction session.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do this. Then customization of AI tools. So we are moving from prompts to custom assistants. Good news that custom tools are not complicated. Now it is possible to create custom GPTs as a prompt with rules that remembers its role. So the first example will be custom GPTs. So it is a brand name of these custom tools that is used by OpenAI and is integrated in ChatGPT. So a custom GPT always behaves in a specific way, is designed for a specific task, and reduces repetition. Examples: lesson plan generator, assignment or project generator, feedback helper. So, example. So, I will demonstrate this project crafter. It is a specialized assistant that I created to demonstrate this idea. Yeah, so here it is. It is the list of GPTs or custom GPTs in my list, and so as you see, it is a specialized assistant that helps educators design structured, engaging mini project assignment with clear objectives, requirements, and evaluation criteria. So as you see, it have predefined. You can create a predefined list of topic starters. So help me design a mini project for my course. So I select this, and then it says that it can help, and please provide the following. So now, since I asked this tool to collect specific data for creating this mini project, this tool asks me about this, so about subject, academic level, and so on. So let's take an example that, for example, I have a course about data analysis, data analytics, and not this, business analytics. And then academic level, for example, master student, then project duration will be 2 weeks. Key learning objectives. For example, I would like students to work on the dashboard design, which demonstrates the values for indicators design. And available resources, it may, for example, I can mention that they can use Microsoft Power BI as a tool, and I would like them to use open data. And also project theme or focus, I would like to them to focus more on sales domain, for example. So I provide this information, and I receive a complete mini project assignment for this specific request. So mini project focuses on developing an alternative sales analytics dashboards using real-world open data. So here you see learning objective, project description, technical requirements, and here these are requirements related to data collection. So students should select open access data sets. Then data set must include at least time-based data, sales or revenue values, and so on. Then how to develop, so perform data cleaning and transformation using Power BI, create a simple data model, define at least 4 to 6 key performance indicators, and so on. So how to implement, how to test, and what will be the deliverable, what will be the evaluation criteria, and additional resources. So as you see, very comprehensive description of project for students, and now I can show how it can be created. So maybe it's better to demonstrate right here. So edit GPT. So here you see how this agent or this custom GPT works and how it is defined. So it is a description, but the main part is here. So it includes instructions. So as you see, your project craft a specialized assistant designed to help educators create comprehensive mini projects and so on. So now you can again think about these prompting guidelines. So we start from defining the role. Your core purpose is to guide educators through designing mini projects that are, and then requirements for this project. Then you must always follow the standard mini project template provided below when generating a project. So now, as you see, instead of trusting in ChatGPT or any other assistant to create its own structure for the project, we can define what do we expect. And so since you teach a lot, you have your own experience and you have preferences on what should be included in, for example, students' project. And so here you see an example. Before creating project, you must ask the user to provide the following information: subject, academic level, and so on. So you remember that we asked all these questions. If any of this information is missing, ask concise, clear follow-up questions before proceeding. Once all required information is provided, generate a complete mini project assignment. And then standard mini project template. So here you see a quite elaborate specification of this mini project. So overview provided 2-3 sentence introduction. Then regarding the next section is learning objectives. Then next section is project description, then technical requirements and so on, deliverables, evaluation criteria and so on. What to avoid? Do not create projects that are too vague or overly prescriptive and so on. So you see a lot of different instructions, then conversation starters here. Then you can add more to this tool. So for example, you can upload some files and select the model that will be used, and also define some capabilities of the system, and also add some actions, for example, to collect some data from specific source and so on. So it is how you can create such custom GPT. And so I can share the link to this. So important information is that in order to create such custom GPTs, you need to have a paid subscription, so which costs approximately 20 euros per month. But in order to use custom GPTs, as I remember, you do not need to have paid subscription. So then maybe just a couple of words about, so we need to finalize our meeting, so just a couple of additional extra words. So it is also possible to create similar custom tools in Microsoft environment. So for example, it is Microsoft Copilot Studio, where you can create a similar app. And so I created a similar example in Microsoft Copilot Studio, and it is a bit more complicated than to do it in ChatGPT, but Microsoft Copilot has some other benefits because it can be integrated with Microsoft tools such as Microsoft Teams, Outlook, and so on. Then here you see some examples of GPTs for teachers. So class companion, quiz and exam creator, lesson planner, research simplifier, and so on. So here you see a link to Academy of OpenAI, and they collected this custom GPT and write a kind of short article about it. And so it is about this custom GPT creation. Okay, so just finalizing this topic of creation of these customized tools, we can have a look at this process on how can you approach the creation of AI tools. So you can start from the clarification of motivation, purpose, input, output of the desired AI solution. Then you need to select AI solution implementation approach, and maybe I will talk a bit more about second step. Then you need to split big task into subtasks. Then you create prompts and the required tools. So as you noticed from this project crafter, the main content of this custom tool is actually prompt, and so it's important to know how to create them. Testing and enhancement of prompts and required tool, and maybe let's have a look at this slide about selection of the AI solution implementation approach. So here you see that one approach can be to use general purpose AI assistant plus prompt templates. So ChatGPT, Copilot, Google Gemini, and prompt templates. So I demonstrated you the library with these prompts, and so if you want to ask ChatGPT to create mini projects for your students, you can create a prompt template and save it in your file or in your library. And then when needed, you will take this prompt template, fill in empty needed sections. For example, what is the topic, what is the course, what are the students, and so on. Another approach is to use these no-code AI agent builders. So custom GPT inside ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot Studio. So I just demonstrated this second approach. And also code-based solutions using API. And when you send requests to large language model in programming interface, not via user interface. And as you see, each approach has its own pros and cons, and in some cases it is okay to use the first approach, in some cases it is needed to switch to code-based approach. And within our TeProD project, we have this case about personal development roadmap creation. I think we don't have time now to dig deeper into this case, but you will have these slides, and also we have this tool created for personal development roadmap creation that is implemented as a kind of in software, and so it's possible to generate well-crafted personal development roadmaps based on the information about learner, current skills, and also some preferences with respect to personal development. So, yeah.
So thank you so much, Dimitri, and thank you so much, Axeli, as well. Folks, where we've gotten now, I want us to, if we have any question, let me be quick to say that this session is recorded, and we also have the slide that will be made available, so we can ask our questions, and afterwards, there is also an evaluation form that will be sent to you. to evaluate the entire session. So if you have any question, let's hear you out. Just please show your hands, then we can call you to ask your question. Thank you very much. Any question, any submission, any clarity? Yes, the recording will be made available once the session ends. So that question is answered. Any other?
I noticed one question in the chat in direct messages about custom GPTs. Can the custom GPT be used to write prompt for guide for personal statement for school application of specific ones like the lesson plan only? Maybe I didn't fully understand this question, but anyway, when we talk about custom GPTs and all these custom tools, you can use them very flexibly. So in general, you can interpret these tools as a kind of extension to custom GPT, where you just repeat the prompt or certain and provide the same data. So if you do some task, any task more or less regularly, and you do not want to write the prompt again and again and to provide the same data again and again, then you can create this custom GPT, and it will kind of simplify and make your repetitive tasks quicker. Of course, it seems that if you have a kind of unique tasks, then maybe the creation of these custom tools is not that useful.
Okay, so there's another question. So if you can summarize the use of notebook, are there any other AI tool for PowerPoint apart from Gamma? Oh, okay, thank you. Dimitri.
So, notebook LM. So, if I understood notebook, it means notebook LM. So,
Yes.
the idea is that you can upload some files into notebook LM, for example, several PDFs and so on. And then you can ask questions related to these PDFs. So, for example, a big textbook and you need specific answers. So it can help both teachers and maybe even more learners when there is a kind of big textbook on specific topic, and student would like to have a more interactive way of learning, and then he or she can upload these files and start asking questions. Then it's possible to create audio files and even not simple audio files, but also kind of discussions when there are, for example, two persons doing interviews and discussing the topic of this that is found in these files, for example. And it is about Notebook LM. And regarding creation of PowerPoint presentations, actually, I didn't go into this area too much. So I suppose that you can also try Microsoft Copilot, since if it is also a product from Microsoft, it should provide some kind of better results for PowerPoints, but it is just just a guess. The question, does it mean that Notebook LM is based on context-based engineering? Yes, it is possible to say this way. But actually, all these tools use context, and so maybe it's hard to say that whether the tool use context-based approach. So it is just context engineering. It is a way on how we deal with and how we work with AI, and whether we pay attention only to prompting or also to the material that we provide to this system. And since Notebook LM means that you upload some files into this system and then ask to do something, then I think that yes, the way on how you interact with the Notebook LM is very close to the idea of context engineering.
Yes, and if I can say just briefly, so this whole like context window and context engineering is like choosing only the most important information to get the outcome you want. And as the context window grows, it may become more expensive. So think about that also.
Okay. All right. So if we don't have any question, I guess it's a great time spent together. Like we indicated, the slides will be made available to all registered participants. So you'll be checking your email, drop them in the emails. Then the recording too will be made available for more time to also refer to or reference to what we've done so far. I've also dropped in the evaluation form. So there's a Google form below for evaluation. We have some questions that we've given, and we'll be grateful to also get feedback. Once again, just let me reiterate that this program is sponsored by Erasmus Plus EU-funded project on twin transition, and University of Ghana with our partners across Europe and also in Africa championing this conversation. This is just for the first time we're holding this for this year. Hopefully, we'll be hosting another program as and when the time is getting near. We will let our partners and yourself get to know, so you will join us. We want to get to a point where we are well abreast with digital competency in this emerging AI contextualized conversation. So we'll be used to some of these things as teachers and learners, as well as also looking out for ensuring that our level of green competencies is enhanced. So beyond today's conversation, as well, so you can keep engaging this conversation. So we look forward to having time with you again. And since our time is fast spent, we want to be grateful that you once again take time to evaluate the form. So Dimitri, on behalf of the Ghana partners, University of Ghana and University of Univer Education, we want to thank you. Actually, too, want to thank you for joining the team. And maybe I'll allow Professor Winnie if you have any final comment, or the TeProD UG team. Dr. Atara, do you have any comments to make? Otherwise, we want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Dr. Atara? Professor Winnie?
Please go on.
Okay.
Yeah, so not really, but you said it all. There's a project, and there are more to come. This is more of generative AI with prompt engineering. There are more of these sessions that will be coming. and that you have different resource facilitators also taking this. So we are going to have a database of you in case there is training of such. We will send an email and get you involved. So thank you so much for joining this session. So,
Thank you. All right. So thank you so much. And I'm grateful that you join us for this session. Please have a lovely time. I will share, please ensure to complete our evaluation form, very important. And we'll be happy to share all the necessary information that the slide will be made available for you as well.
Yeah.
Dimitri, thank you very much. And actually, thank you too.
And from my side, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Abeku, for your great guidance and moderation, and also for those who is interested in the topic of generative AI, we welcome you to our event that will take place in 1 week. It will be a hybrid event where we will provide, it will be streamed online, and so we will present a toolkit for creating Gen AI solutions for companies. So maybe some of you will be interested in this. So I sent the link into the chat.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay.
And thank you for invitation. So it was nice to participate in this training and share knowledge with you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too, Dimitri. Thank you too. All right, so folks, enjoy your evening and hope to see you again. Bye-bye for now. Cheers to you all.
Bye.
Again, remember it's stream transition and TeProD is also facilitating this. Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.